Tune in to the best radio show on planet Earth, S.M.E, from 6 to 7 every Tuesday. We're truly undefeated and can't be beat. Even though the show is called S.M.E, it's not just about me. We work as a team to build our dream.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall.
It's your boy, King JTH, here live on S.M.E. And my co-hosts today are...
Taylor.
Cole. First up... First up, we have some guests in the building to interview. And their names are...
Dr. Ted Sutton, founder of Men Against Murder and People Can Change Youth Movement.
And Chris Seymour with Nehemiah Construction, where we do construction, new houses, construction, development in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia.
So, I'm going to start off with Mr. Chris. I noticed that you have a hair company. What made you want to be a hair owner?
That's a long story, but it's real short as well. So I was dating a young lady who was actually in the hair business. So just a little history about me. I am a true entrepreneur. I started my first company when I was 21 years old, and I've actually never worked for anyone since then. So I've been in the fashion industry where we had a clothing line. We were national. We were in Nordstrom's, Macy's, all over the country. In some places, we were even in Japan. And prior to that, I had clothing stores, and things just got one thing led to another, and we were just getting very popular and very famous. What came out of that is that I had a lot of international experience, which brought me kind of to a young lady that I was going out with when she said she wanted to get a little bit more deeper into the hair industry. And so because I had connections all over the world, basically, we went on a search and actually found a factory where we own out in the Philippines now. So I actually have a factory in outside of Manila, about an hour outside of Manila, where we do hair extension. It's virgin hair. We don't sell in your hair stores. We sell directly online. And the name of that company is called Galaxy 5000. In that position, I was the COO, the CFO, and I turned the operations over to my wife, so she actually runs the day-to-day business with that. But nevertheless, that got started in 2014, and we're a very high-producing company now, over in the seven-figure lane now. So we're very happy about that and very excited about it. But that's the hair part.
I also noticed that your company is in Thailand. Why did you specifically choose Thailand?
It's not Thailand, it's the Philippines.
Oh, Philippines.
So, little difference there. I would ask the same question if it was Thailand. No, Filipino people, the indigenous people there are people that have hair that's very close to a sort of African American hair, meaning that it goes from straight to what we call a coarse grade, and it really goes along with the clients that we have that have been purchasing from us for some years now. And again, we're not just dealing with African Americans; we deal with black, white, yellow, red. But we had that texture of hair is the best one, as far as I'm concerned, in the world that coexists with the hair that's out, African American hair. So therefore, it's I guess an easier sale, if you put it that way, or it's a easier hair to manage in terms of looking real.
What other country you would have chose?
Well, it chose. Well, let me back up. So when I said I did a research, we did a research that was actually in China, and so China was you have people that have hair companies from all over the world, all over China, and you got other countries that come there. So it's just really a matter of just looking around and seeing who has the best hair. And I knew nothing about that, but my wife did, because it had to be about 5,000 companies there. And I didn't know what she was looking for, except she was just saying, no, that's not it, that's not it. And I'm just like, wow, what is it? And there was a small little company out there that had the hair that she said that this is the one that was it. And we invited those folks over to our hotel room, and we began a business relationship now that included us actually partnering with their whole entire manufacturer. So not only do we sell here in the U.S., but we sell in Africa, and we also sell in the U.K.
Well, I'm gonna pass it off to Miss Taylor. She's gonna ask you some questions as well.
What made you interested in real estate?
Real estate, believe it or not, is something that I really, really enjoy from every facet. So that story is really fast. When I left the clothing industry, and it was for kind of an abrupt move. We were doing really well, and I got into construction. That's where I started off in real estate, because I was actually building my own house. So we were building a house out in Howard County some years ago, and really started liking it, and really started getting involved with it. And I initially invested in a company that were builders, and we connected with them at first, and I merged out on my own some years later after that. But that's what kind of got me into it. I got very excited, and knowing that we can make people's dreams come true, and we can build these big, beautiful homes. We built houses as big as 14,000 square feet and as small as 2,500 square feet. So we were a mid-sized custom builder. And after that, got into development. So what that is, basically, is getting a plot of land and subdividing it. So when you subdivide it, you see these communities, and you see these house here as an address. And that's what we did. We got land and we subdivided it, and we were assigned addresses to them. And in some cases we would build, but in more cases than not, we would sell those subdivided lots to larger builders who actually wanted to purchase from us. And that was extremely exciting.
Okay. What's the job you haven't done but will want to do it?
Say it one more time.
What's the job you haven't done but will want to do it?
What's a job that I have? Wow, what a story is. What about that? I'm a person that actually loves challenges, and so every business that I had, I can just say that I never had the experience prior to that. So I don't have a direct desire. I've just kind of been pushed that ways. But the next thing that seemed to be exciting is commercial real estate or commercial construction, and we are actually working on 3 different projects right now with Marriott hotels, where we're actually renovating the hotels. We got our 3rd contract with Marriott just in this short period of time. And so we're exploring that, and maybe building some buildings for Marriott. Never know.
Okay.
Who's this?
What motivated you to build houses?
What made me want to build houses? Well, it's a couple of things. So in my experience, when I built my own house initially, how I got into this whole entire business and building, I would still have my clothing company. And there were just a lot of different, I should just say, not so good contractors. And so we ran into some really unfortunate situations when I was building my house prior to that. And I just thought I could do a better job, infrastructure-wise and, administrative-wise, and being able to have a manager on site and all those good things I think we can put together. So that's what made me do it. And I have a passion for my clients. So the people who actually really want to build and really want good service, we're that company that will take our time and work with our clients in a way where they'll be totally happy with the product that we give them.
Okay, now we're going to pass it to my other co-host, Cole, and he's going to ask you some questions as well.
What ministry are you a part of?
Well, at my church, I am the chairman of my trustee board at church, so deal with the finances, and not only just in the finances of it, but because my background is in construction and real estate and property, we were at a church in Washington, D.C., where I facilitated the sale of that property into a property that's out now in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And pretty much it was a really good scenario for the church. We actually got 2 properties there. One They had 80 acres on there, and we were able to do subdivision with another developer where the church made out really good. We invested in one amount and got 20 times higher than the property's worth 20 times higher than it was when we purchased it. So that was very exciting for the church, and those things, that's a blessing from God. So that's what we enjoy doing.
Tell me about Galaxy 5000 Company.
So that's going back to the hair business. Galaxy, like I said, I did create the name. I will give myself credit on that. But beyond that, a lot of that was just been with my wife in terms of having what the customer or the purchaser really needed or the culture needed. And that's having virgin hair. So let me talk about that just for a moment. A lot of times ladies go and they buy hair extensions from hair companies or what have you. And it's not 100% virgin hair. And a lot of times it might be what they call synthetic hair. And you see them a lot of times maybe scratching their hair or hitting their scalps a lot of times because of the synthetic that's in it. And sometimes it's the bacteria that's inside of the web. And so because of that, we do just the opposite. Our hair will last a minimum of 5 years. It's 100% virgin hair, so there is no synthetic in it. And that's what makes us different.
So, sorry, go on.
Do you have any advice for any upcoming business owners?
Yes, I have a lot of advice for that, but I'll keep it real short. Is that operate in your passion, but when you operate in your passion, understand that there's a business element to that. So what does that mean? And what are the things that I have to do business-wise to get started? So it's good to obviously, read some books and find out how to do it, but try to connect yourself to somebody who's already in business. Someone that can try to help you say, hey, how did you get started? And they tell you, well, I had to open a bank account, I had to go get licensed, I had to go do some things of that nature, and write those things down and be passionate about it, because when you decide to make a decision to get your own business, it is a big step. So what you're really committing to is that I'm going beyond working for someone, or at least working for someone, entirety, and I'm deciding to take a portion of my life and dedicate it to opening up a business, meaning that it's a heck of a responsibility. I almost have to treat it as if it's like a child. You have to nourish it, and you have to make sure that sometimes when things don't go right, you still got to be there. You got to make sure that you do the best that you can be, and hopefully one day that you'll be in a position to be able to hire other people and then be able to be in a position to help society.
So, question. So synthetic hair means that it's virgin, never been touched.
No, synthetic is just the opposite. Virgin is it hasn't been touched. Synthetic hair is not real. So so in the United States, in order for them to say that you have they don't use the word virgin hair, 100% human hair, it's not 100%. You only need 33% of virgin hair, right? So that means that the rest of that hair is not real hair. And most of the time, probably more times than not, you may be getting a good price on the hair, but you have to throw the hair away in like 30 days, 60 days, or, if you're fortunate, it might last you 4 months. But the important thing, the way Galaxy looks at it, the Galaxy 5000 looks at it, is that we actually care about the actual client that's purchasing the hair. And why do you say that? Well, my wife really allowed me to see something that was alarming to me, that I would say anywhere between 20 and 30% of African American girls, by the time they turn 30 years old, they've lost a lot of their hair, and they almost have to wear wigs and extensions for the rest of their life, because they have the bacteria in the hair, or synthetic. Some people are allergic to synthetic, and they don't know they're allergic to synthetic, and you'll see a lot of them balding. And because of that, and because of those scenarios, we make sure that we're not a part of that. So what Galaxy 5000 does is basically have a product that you can feel good about. And you still, just like I said about business, you got to do some business things. So with hair, you got to make sure you can take the hair out, wash it, make sure you don't keep hair in there until, hasn't been washed in 4 or 5 months. And then you take the hair out, and then, they got to cut, almost shave the woman's hair off because it's all tied up inside of it. So it's a lot of things in there that a lot of clients don't know about. And so we try to educate our clients as much as possible.
Oh yeah, I believe Miss Imani also has some questions that both of you can actually answer.
Did both of you go to college?
Well, I can answer that. No, I didn't go to college. I went to one semester of college, which is very unique because most people think I've had PhDs because I've been around a lot of business executives. But in answering that question, I do recommend that you have a full knowledge of education on how to just be in a position to work, whether you're working in a company or whether you are having your own business. There's a standard that I think everyone should have. I was able to just pick it up over the years. I told you I opened up my first business at 21, but I've been business minded ever since I was 15 years old. I was a manager of a band, believe it or not. It was a jazz band, and I was getting my group in places I couldn't even get into. So that means I was booking people, and I couldn't even get into the places because I was too young to get in. So I've always had a knack for business and met a lot of different business people. But if someone would have asked me, again, would you do it the same way? I probably would have said, yeah, I think I should go to college just to get a full understanding because, the hard knocks sometimes can cost you a lot of money. Sometimes it can cost you more than the school itself. So it just depends on how that's being viewed. But I do recommend that.
Yes, and if I was to actually address that,